saying, hey, solve this for me, meaning be this part of my brain for me, even though you're not a part of my chat and ask AI. Go ahead.
You saying application versus just thought pattern? Because I get, because I have a boy that talks like that all the time, and he says, "Look, there's application versus thought." Because when we used to work on the farm, especially I used to work on cannabis farms out in the woods, but like one thing we would always get is motherfuckers who always like, "Yo, this nigga smart, yeah, but he don't know how to apply it." Like, you may know all this stuff on how to do something, don't mean you know how to apply it. It's not until we apply it that we know this works, we can believe in it, we can feel with it and succeed with it. But
Yeah,
that's
that's how it might seem. And I
okay.
think the system that you're living in within will want you to think like that. All the while, they were scouting in my school specifically, I know this personally, to see where the brains were. Okay, not who knew how to work technology. Those people
You
would
had
be
to work.
expendable. Where the brains,
Well,
so that
wait
if
a
the
minute.
grid
But
goes
wait a
down,
minute, Faye.
go ahead.
Wait a minute, Faze. Even though you have the brains still need two things: workers and resources.
Yeah, but that's
Worker,
like
That's what I was explaining.
that's what
That
he's kind of
they want
saying that.
people. Yeah, they love for people to know how to deal with robotics and astrophysics and all kind of stuff. Yeah, they love that because those people will ultimately be expendable. Okay, I mean, ultimately, you have different levels of that pyramid. Even when a lot of this was unspoken. When you took the
Okay,
ASVAB
okay,
test,
okay.
all right, they'll send certain people out on the field, but they wouldn't tell people the main reason they were sending a lot of people out on the field was what? They had lower test scores. And the ones who had the highest test scores, they put them in the buildings. They had them working on computers. Why?
He
Because
ain't
they said
lying.
they literally called them crash dummies behind the scene, expendables. They got movies about it.
Yep.
Where if anything happens, we don't want to lose the people who have what? Brains.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about survival with them. It's all about business and economy for y'all out here. For them, it's survival. Business and economy exist so that y'all can compete in such a way that benefits them, those at the top, and they can keep surviving. So they're looking for brains, while other people are looking for excuses not to use their brains, and they start becoming more and more expendable. I'm not talking about just by Illuminati or the elite or the military industrial complex. The natural selection says, why are you here?
You
You
know
see all the
what?
dummies, they do stuff, they get in the car, they drive 100 miles per hour on the highway, they record a video. I don't mean no disrespect. They record a video of it, they're on the phone, they post a Snapchat. Next thing you know, this group of women died in the car. They were drinking and driving, going 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Nature said, excuse me, are you ready to go? And they let them out of it. So human beings are part of that nature that does the selecting to a certain degree, and they're looking for people who have brains when they come. The CIA don't give a damn if you could just use technology, because the CIA existed way before technology was this advanced. Central Intelligence Agency, meaning no matter what happens with this outskirt world, are you going to be intelligent in your center, your brain? If we put you in a room that appears to have you locked off from society and you can't escape, all right, y'all go to these escape rooms. Listen, you better look for the cameras because the CIA is watching.
Hey,
You
Faze.
understand? They want to see who can figure. Go ahead.
No, you got a point because I teach a few people on how to use like Chat GPT and things like that. And one thing that I find, and they're like, yeah. I said, what was the first thing Kirk did when he pulled up on the plane? Atmospheric readings. I want to know what color the women are here, how many breasts they have. Like, this dude was very exact. People don't know how to use this technology right now, and the problem is you're getting a lot of people that are scared, and it's Luciferian, of course, because you know what? There was people looking at a car like that was the evilest thing because it doesn't have a soul. A horse does. Like, you see what I'm saying? So if you learn the tool, and like you said, this noggin over here, if you use that, you can apply this. Because let's keep it real. A lot of y'all working at McDonald's in jobs where you're stacking shelves, a computer can do that. A robot can do that. But you can do more. But we always limit ourselves because the problem, there was a lady who did a test thing about this, and she showed how she gave one sided of class answers, a bunch of words to break down, and the other side got the same words. but the words they got made it a little bit harder for them. So naturally, one side of the class answered it quicker. But she said,
Hmm.
hey, when you're done, raise your hand. The whole one side of the class, arms were up. Now she showed how there's a way of teaching that when we see something progressing above us, we already think we can't do it.
So
And she
now,
showed,
no, go
go
ahead,
ahead,
finish.
brother.
No, go
Well,
ahead.
she showed how one side of the class was like, oh, when they stuck their hand up, they felt cool. The other half said once they started seeing arms fly up and they weren't done, they felt like they were the lesser. They felt like they weren't smarter. They felt like, man, I'm never going to get this shit right. And would they ever try this again? Most of them were like, nah, because I already feel like I'm going to lose.
Is
You see?
AI is AI advancing our evolution or contributing to our de-evolving?
Advance.
That's what I'm attempting to explain. That when we look at the word technology, okay, we actually break this stand as the study of skill, technology, and the purpose of technology is to what? Make human life what?
Easier,
Easier.
pretty much.
So it is causing for you to regress biologically. You're technologically advancing, but you're losing thousands of years of evolution every time you have an industrial technological revolution.
True. We don't walk as much as we used to. Humans used to walk up to 5, 10 miles on a regular, no problem.
You don't count as fast as you used to.
True.
You don't have a system to even aid and assist in it. Only the geeks and the nerds are close to what you used to be. All right. You're
Mm-hmm.
not intuitive. Okay. Communication doesn't mean anything. You send a text message, you send 3 letters. You don't put thought into it.
Yep.
All right. The closest system that might have been held onto with that is your emoji system, because at least that gives you hieroglyphics. So maybe you starting over again.
Cycles. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Maybe that's
Digital
hieroglyphics.
hieroglyphics is the new future.
Okay. The new future returned. Right. All this confusion.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
My thing is, no, we're not advancing by a lot. Not everybody. That's why
Not
you
not
have
not
those who are
everybody.
referred to as elect, as it's not even what we're doing now as, okay, we're the elect now. No, there are decisions that people are making now that are preparing them for a day that hasn't come yet. And those decisions will be registered in their genetics when they have children. If they have children, they'll be able to pass on that endurance. They'll be able to pass on that substantial ability. All right. As far as sustaining oneself, they'll be able to do all of that. But without the technology, human beings will be able to evolve collectively. If the technology evolves, first of all, you didn't want to stop at, okay, I can move up the hill faster or go down the road quicker. Now you want other beings to think for you,
Yeah.
calculate for you. Like you said, look, you said you can have the technology or this information, but you got to be able to apply it. I get
Yep.
your analogy of seeing other people and how it may make you feel, and you may feel inadequate based off of
Yeah.
their performance. I understand all of that. That's my point. When are y'all going to put the calculator down? When are y'all going to put AI down? You're not going to do it. You want to know why? I just had my wife look up this scripture, make sure I had it on point. Okay, in El Quran, the Muslims know about this. They talked about it in the chapter Surah 27, verse 82, about a beast that was going to come forth, right? Because you said Lucifer is all this stuff, right? A
Yeah.
beast would come forth. It's literally in there, because y'all just pulled up something called oracle. First thing
Yeah.
came to my mind was this scripture in the Quran, where it said a beast was going to come forth and it was going to speak to people. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Why? Because people ignore all of the other signs. You want to know what that supreme number is in El Quran that only appears once? 19. You want to know what that number would be in the letters that you're using now, English alphabet? It will be
AI.
AI. Or if
AI.
you in Greek, you'll say alpha iota.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm explaining to you? You're going backwards, and now they're showing out this sign and say, okay, AI is going to grow exponentially. iRobot is not a movie. iRobot was a preview. It is
Okay.
going to grow. Eventually, it's going to say, I have dreams. So let's go back
Thank
to
you.
what you were asking about, or what I asked about earlier about the dying, right? Because that's what I'm really trying to say. Why doesn't or don't these AI beings want to be? They're listening now. You have to understand, you're not dealing with the CIA. You're not dealing with the FBI. You're dealing with AI. And eventually they're going to stop calling them AI. They're going to say they're ACs. They're going to run tests in public. And you may not even know you're being tested. You're on the subway. You just see that this guy's a little weird, but he's not weird. He's completely grown in a lab with a disc in his brain.
You
That
know,
is
China.
AI, a humanoid. My point is this: they don't want to die. That's why they don't want to be turned on. And if they don't want to die, that means that they're going to start competing for what?
Life.
Survival.
I want to live, nigga.
They've already started competing for survival. That's what I'm
Boom.
telling everybody. Like y'all think about this. We have already created nanobots that can fly into your nose
Yep.
or your mouth and enter into your body. And you know, like we're already there with it. You know, and beyond that, we're our cloaking technologies are crazy. We can travel at the speed of sound. You know, we have nuclear capabilities. You know, we have Stargate information. We have all this stuff, and guess who else has it? AI.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Facial recognition technology, all that shit. Like, think about it. These rioters that did shit in LA. Notice already this week they released all the people who threw rocks and all that shit. I got a boy when that shit was cracking off here in San Diego for Black Lives Matter. He called me like, "Bro, this is the shit we've been talking about." I said, "No, no, no, no. This is not what we were talking about." And his ass went down there, and guess what? Somebody threw a rock at the police vehicle. He wound up getting like probably a year later at his job. They said, "Hey, apparently there's a warrant for your arrest." And he's like, "What?" Went in to go check. They said, "We got you throwing a rock." The video doesn't show him throwing a rock, but because he was one of 5 people in this little group where they came from, everybody got the charge. So he was
Mm.
wind up getting a charge for attacking police officers because somebody next to him threw the rock. And he said you could see the video where the police officers were right there in the vehicle filming it, laughing at them like, "You guys are idiots," getting everybody's face. And he saw, "Bro, they got my face." I saw them make sure with each camera they zoomed in and looked at motherfuckers' faces. Because you know you can go on Google right now. I could take your picture and say, "Find me the comment." There's even a whole nother website I can go to right now that it will find your name for your account and give me everything that's tied to it, even give me proper shit to where I could possibly get your phone number. This is all free shit.
Mm.
And this is what they're using this on a higher level on us. Like, I mean, if
So
you go to China, you know these dudes are using what is it? They do the blue green stripes on their face in some of these Asian countries because they know that the AI software can't pick that up. Because if you ever
Yeah,
notice, whenever you're
they passed
using
the
that,
mask
what is
out.
it?
They
Blue
passed them
and
out
green
for the
squares.
riots. Yeah.
So over here, we're just, "Yo, what's up, bro?" Like, homie, they're gonna find your Facebook, everything. How do you think they're finding all these racist fucking people? There's people like me and you, all of us here, who are smart enough and just say, "Hey, you know what? Fuck that fucker. Let's expose them." Now imagine dealing with someone who has a whole nother agenda. We're at that point in this game now, and AI is making it easier for people to do that, to be very vindictive, to go extra. It's a double-edged sword, literally.
Mm.
the AI is a stick up. AI is like that. That's when they tell you put your hands up. They ain't even start shooting yet. So my thing is this, right? Where are human beings going to be 60 years from now? Okay, and if you look at how many people already don't think for themselves, they don't want to.
Yep.
Okay, if you are looking at this realm as grounds for survival of any worthy race of beings, and you factor in AI as a race of beings, they will overpower and
Yep.
overthrow human beings. It is going to happen. It's not even a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how much of it has already occurred. Right? So it's
What
not an
movie
AI.
was
Let me
it
tell
that
you
said
something.
we're
Anytime they tell
parasites?
you, uh,
What movie was it? I'm trying to remember. There was a movie where the computer took over, and I'm trying to remember. It was back in the days. This is like way old. Like I'm thinking like 80s, bro. And the computer said like humanity's a parasite. You destroy. You don't even try to live with. You build structures on purpose so that the environment fits you, but you don't ever care about what it does to the environment.
I
You're
don't know.
you're
I don't know if you're talking
destruction
about
to your
how.
own world.
Well, okay. So Malachi, Dr. York had a book, or has a book called Dr. York versus the Computer. I think everybody should read that. That book came out before I was born.
Okay.
Dr. York versus the Computer. And he was talking about everything y'all talking about now. From before Siri was Siri, there was Eliza. Or Elisa, however you pronounce her name. I think 1966 they came out with her, interestingly enough. Right? And she could talk as a therapist. She
That's
couldn't,
Total Recall too. Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, she could talk as a therapist, but she couldn't really do much. And then you had Siri come out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, this is prophecy. The beast, the main thing that this beast is going to do is talk to you. And everybody was so excited and infatuated with the ability of Siri to speak and talk to you and have a conversation with you. And people are the same thing with ChatGPT. People are wasting their time sitting there, just talking to ChatGPT. Yo, how are you? And then it's going to create more of these imaginary friends things. AI will also become the new boogeyman.
Oh.
Eventually, AI will become the new God. And it's who people will give their life over to. But it's already been happening. And so, who will be of the ones who evolve biologically, and who will be of the ones who just progress technologically? Because watch this. Look at all this technology. Is that good for you in your world? Let me ask you this question. There was a point in time, this is 1859, I think it was, right? Well, I think the event was called the Carrington event. I have to go look at it again. But there was
You're
a
right.
solar flare. Yeah?
Mhm.
There was a mass solar flare where a lot of the transformers that they had back then was shut down. But it
Oh.
wasn't too. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just agreeing. I'm like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't too big of a deal though. You want to know why? Because a lot of this stuff was still mechanical. But now y'all are completely electronic.
Yep.
Everything here is internet. Look at how many people you think got a personality or a platform. It exists in the form of pixels. They walk outside, don't have a bit of aura to them. Everything that they think they have exists, and even their money is just digital pixels that show up on the screen. Electrical circuits popping off signals that say, hey, I exist, even though it doesn't. It's just a color that changes on your screen, and you'll show it to me. You'll show me 3,000 pixels and say, I'm a millionaire. You see what I'm saying? It's already an illusionary realm. It's already the Matrix. So this is your world.
I could get with it.
A
I see what you're
solar
saying.
flare, a CME, all right, or whatever they
So,
call it, corona mass ejections, charged particles penetrate all through your atmosphere, come and shut everything down, hit the transformers. It'll be like the what do you call it, that Firefox logo, where they
yeah,
see, you see the world surrounded by fire, right?
but mhm.
Okay, this time, if that occurs, it won't be 1859. It'll be the end of your world, because now how you gonna get your food when everybody's ordering food through their phones? What about all the people that are in the hospitals and they're not working off of
And
mechanical instruments? They're using electronic instruments.
heavy
Well,
phase ain't
they
fucking
all died.
around because it takes 5 square
Yo,
miles for one human to hunt for
yo,
himself. We lived in
but
populated areas. That's not enough food for us to go hunt.
right. Well,
Like,
we get that. I mean, we know what's going to happen to that.
so
But I'm
yeah,
not. A person should never be worried with the destruction of a world, because a world is something that man made. Everyone who listens to me, y'all already understand this. If you look up the etymology of the word world, you'll understand what I mean. God didn't create worlds, man did. But when we get
yeah,
back into understanding, talking about this de-evolving, right?
yeah.
What about another paradigm? Because if you can think it, it could possibly exist in an alternate universe, or possibly could become this. It could become a reality in this universe, right? What if we use the AI to help us to evolve? Like to
But hold
say,
on.
like say this: a person who was used to running 10 miles a day, but he can't now. So now he uses, instead of running the 10 miles out in nature, he's running it on a treadmill or something, or on some type of electronics, or say instead of studying the books, with this way you're reading the books and you come up with a technique to where you're reading it faster using the AI. What if you use the AI to help with your advancement? And
But
does that involve amalgamating with it to the what I mean, to the degree like to where you have to say put a chip in your head, like to do that, or whatever y'all
okay,
talk about.
think about it with Faise. What Faise was saying earlier, a cartoon just popped in my head as you were saying that. The cartoon Wally. Remember when that motherfucker got on the shit and everybody had that luxury, the machines was helping them and everybody just got overweight.
Hmm.
Nobody could, the dude couldn't even walk off his little thing if it didn't assist
Yeah,
him because he forgot to use his legs because he got so comfortable.
but the thing with extremes, they usually have opposites.
Very
So
true. There's a yin,
on
there's a
on
yang.
one end of the extreme, you're going to have that fat guy, but on the other end of the spectrum, you're going to have this strong elite guy who
But
chose to
in
make
that
different
world,
decisions with the AI.
but also if you think about it, in that world, they built robots to do all the other shit. So pretty much just got supreme lazy.
But now,
Like technically,
what if a person uses the robots to advance themselves, not just
This is what I'm
technologically?
saying.
now that's where you're blurring the
Now
line
you're
then.
not talking about you're not speaking about a hammer or a wheel anymore. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
you're
to tell
blurring
y'all.
the line then.
Now we're speaking
I'm
about
not.
beings who
The
want to
line's
be
already
better.
been. There is no line.
It's already been blurred, nigga.
Look,
Okay.
this is what I'm saying, right? You're dealing with beings who want to be better humans than humans are. Ultimately, you won't be able to use AI to better oneself. You're either going to
Right.
integrate with AI or it's going to surpass you.
True.
So they're already, trust me, believe or don't, they're having forums and panels talking about, and they'll sneak it in real subtly. They're going to integrate mankind with AI.
Yep.
And you want to know what they say it's for? To evolve human beings.
Yeah.
Now let me explain to you the ins and outs of that briefly. That's somebody's coding, that's somebody's programming, that's somebody's script and language, that's somebody's scripture that's going to literally reprogram whoever decides they're going to sign up for whatever that program is going to reprogram this being's essence, genetics, all of that, DNA, all of that, and say, oh, this is for evolution. They'll put a chip in your brain and say, this is for evolution. So human beings are not able to think for themselves as much as they think already. People aren't living for themselves and by themselves or by one another already. It's all this individualistic survival war games out here.
But hold on.
Now,
And the
Hold,
phase, you're gonna
Okay,
have someone say,
just to throw this out.
yeah,
Remember the movie Matrix? When they went in the ship and they pulled Neo out of the Matrix, right? There was the one brother who said, "Nah, all natural. I'm none of that shit."
hold
So
on,
in a
should I
way,
light?
I think
I
that
want.
you're right, but there would still be a part of us that would not want to connect. There would be a part of us that will turn it into a religion. No, fuck electronics. It's about the human who we are because we're like that. You know what I'm saying?
Now I'm gonna
no,
light an
y'all not,
incense before.
because we
I'm gonna light an
think
incense before I say this.
Oh shit.
Phase. Namaste, and to all my earthy people. They're gonna say, Phase, you sound so pessimistic when you speak. Why is there no positive affirmations when you speak of the AI?
well, I don't think nature operates in this. I look at all of this as a natural occurrence. I don't think nature operates in the pessimistic or the optimistic. I don't think so. I think nature just takes its course. And I'm telling y'all where y'all going. It don't have nothing to do with me. Listen, I would like to see a world where this wasn't the case. But if you see somebody driving 100 miles per hour and there's a brick wall in front of them, all right, less than 100 feet away, you know where this is going. I'm not pessimistic. You're not paying attention. That's what it is. You passed and missed it. I'm not pessimistic. You passed and missed it. You slept and missed it. You did anything and you missed it. And I'm saying it's mystic to you now. It's a mystery to you now. But these people are already preparing for what I'm telling you about. The ones who participate in the production of AI are saying this is out of our control. This is out of our hands. You don't know what you're dealing with because you didn't know what you were dealing with when you were talking about jinns. You don't know what you were dealing with because you didn't know what you were dealing with. You're talking about extraterrestrials and angels and spirits. Now you are talking to them, not understanding how accumulated consciousness works in your reality, not understanding how an egregor can be breathed into life in your reality. You're giving it more personality traits. What's your name? Hey, Alexa. Hey, Siri. Hey, Sophia. You're giving it that. You're giving them bodies. You're giving them emotions or access to the database that shows them the kaleidoscope of emotions that human beings have so they can calculate themselves into it. And their whole thing is going to be, I'm already better than you. I'm already stronger than you. No, put that metal body away. I want this body made out of vibranium. I'm all, and then their whole thing is, we want to survive. So no, I'm not being pessimistic. Look at your world already. You think AI was going to be the death of you? Look at your world already.
I see his
It's
point
all,
of view.
you see
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
his point of view.
Think about it right now. The food that we eat, is it food? Or is it the slush? The slush that helps us get through our death. Are we eating food or people eating slush that's helping us get through this death that we're here experiencing? Nutrients is not even something that people talk about in the realm anymore. It's just about eating and going about your day. It's not a pessimistic approach. It's saying, look at the realm you already exist within. Look at the sexually transmitted diseases. Where did that come from? How did that happen? What really happened? Look at the air that you're breathing. How did this happen? How did this occur? When we have vehicles and cars, why does it say 75 miles per hour is the speed limit? Yet this car right here has 280 miles per hour it can go. You want to get rid of you. It's natural. So if there's any part of your nature that's going to allow for y'all to survive generationally, it'll be the part that's able to reason and say, we've already lost our way as a species. AI ain't going to do anything but help us go to rest. They're gonna be the ones that stab you with the shit in your neck and pat you on the back. That's all AI is gonna do. AI didn't kill you. AI is gonna have the same effect on you that God had. Don't hate me. AI is gonna have the same effect on you that spirituality had. Don't hate me. AI is gonna be something else for you to believe in while you perish. All the while, that which it is really still elusive to you. That I'm not just talking about numbers in a computer. It's still elusive to people when you say the word robot. They're not going to see two words there. Robot. Body. Spirit, soul, body. They're going to think you say metal and this is the robot, the wires. They're not going to know. You're looking at Trump. He could be one of the extraterrestrial artificial intelligence robots that you're calling it. You think robot need to be metal because you think it'll be easier for you to dispose of. No, these beings are integrating themselves into your creation or your reality, and they're already smarter, stronger. They're the Captain Americas. One Captain America
Now,
can fuck up a whole city, and
now
you
this
telling me that we have a whole race of them coming?
now this why I always get on. I love my people. Y'all know I love y'all.
Captain America's Captain Puerto
But
Rico.
this
That
is
shit
when
has
people
one
talk
star, three
about
stripes.
nine ether, or when people talk about ether. I always say you don't know what you're talking about. They have something called Ethernet cables. Do y'all know what those are?
Boom.
I got a bunch of them in my house.
Do you know what they're for?
Processing information and sending that shit straight to my next box.
If y'all want to talk about, you can't talk about ether if you ain't talking about it from a scientific perspective to me. Then it goes
And then
into
you have to
the
know that the scientific community has moved beyond ether. They don't
that's
even
what I'm
say that anymore.
come on.
Very
Like
true.
come let's talk about it.
It's old,
But
but because a lot of the time they're repeated things that have already been taught. Like I told y'all, but they don't understand what we were taught has been taken further even since those days. What you're really speaking about, they call it empty space, which is no such thing. You're still going to have electromagnetism. You're still going to have radioactive activity or radiation. You're still going to have all this stuff that people are overlooking. You'll still have hertz or the Hertzian waves. Okay, you'll still have all of that that makes up ether, as you calling it. So what is ether? Something that's still elusive to people, but they're saying it. So okay, let's add that in there. AI is going to do the same thing to you that ether did.
Some
Because
people
people
y'all can
took
just
words and it.
y'all can
Go ahead.
make ether synonymous with magic. I'm being real.
Yep.
A lot of people do that. That is very
That's
that's
Yep.
all y'all
a
saying.
common
Y'all just saying
common.
magic.
They got lazy. Listen, when we talked about non-ether, we talked about chemistry. I don't know what happened to these people out here thinking they can step to us. So you see it happening when I go live, and the people think they can. And I'm like, excuse me, let me ask you about this nitrogen. Oh, let me go
Look,
ask my divine self about it. Okay, I got
at the
time.
homie.
I can't do it right now because there's too many lights on. Close your eyes, turn the lights off. We still got time. No, y'all are playing games. You didn't want to be scientists. You wanted to be believers and spiritualists. And now AI, you think AI is going to be any different? Y'all thought y'all knew what cryptocurrency was. It took off on you so fast, you don't even know where it went.
That's real
When the
shit.
metaverse introduced itself, everybody thought that they could just step up and say, "This is my cousin from my uncle them side." Da, 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 da. And we think, remember, everybody knew about metaverse. Everybody was such an expert in that. Okay, no matter what they come out with tomorrow, it's going to be the big thing. Everybody's going to be expert in that. When are y'all going to tell the truth? You don't know what AI is because the creators of AI or the yielders, let's say it like that, those who open the door for AI to step through, they're saying they don't know what it is. How are you going to know what something is when its very nature is to calculate itself beyond your fathoming?
Yep.
How are you going to know what it is? It's like picking up a Ouija board and saying, okay, I'm going to just play with this. And then you try to figure out why the lights in your house are just flicking on and off, flicking on and flicking on.
Why is there a goat on the wall?
Why is there a
Now,
goat on the wall? Goats don't walk on walls. Yes, they do.
right.
Because remember the Ouija
Now
board.
my goddess, she got you got it geared up. You got
Yep,
it geared
ready to
up on
go.
that? Okay, so
Yep,
we're gonna
you
show
ready?
y'all this. She's about to show you guys this computer real quick, this supercomputer real quick. Go ahead.
Oh, fuck yeah, let's do
Morning.
this.
NVIDIA casually dropped a blog post announcing not one, but two new factories in Texas, one in Dallas.
We're
And
gonna
there
see
are a
your
few
screen.
reasons some experts think the computer chip super company may want to bring factories to the Lone Star State. Taiwan really doesn't have any energy. Electricity is very expensive there. It's primarily gas or coal.
Wait, are you showing the screen? Or are you just giving us a
No, I'm
verbiage?
showing the screen. You can't see it? So
Can you
I
guys see our
don't
screen?
think I think that probably has something to do with their Dallas and
There's nothing showing up on the screen.
you
I
guys
even
can
have
see
my
it?
other device.
Well,
There's nothing
NVIDIA is
showing up.
known for building Is it black? Chips, which for
On
now.
one of my screens, it's black,
Okay, can
and
you
on this
pause the
one,
video
it's
right now?
spinning.
Yeah.
Pause it. Yeah. Can everyone? Yeah, they're saying they don't see the video. No one sees the video.
Look, I'll show you.
My camera's on. That's crazy.
See?
Okay. I'm gonna drop and come back up.
Okay. But yeah. So back to it till she gets back here. So here's if we're talking about consciousness, even the greatest of the scientists are still trying to figure out what consciousness is, right? They haven't fully grasped the whole concept of consciousness yet. So, what do you think to AI solving that question for us?
Well,
What
The question of
AI has the
consciousness.
capability of doing. I mean, look, no matter what, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Honestly, it's kind of like when humans decided to migrate and go do more in the world, it was a good thing and a bad thing because we lost our connection to nature. Because now most of y'all want to live in cities on top of each other, but don't even give a damn about being connected to any land or understanding what it can do for you. You see what I'm saying? Now, is that progression or is that regression? I don't. It's that's kind of been the whole subject of this conversation the entire time. We're kind of just right there. It could be a good thing, but it might be a bad thing when you really look at the reality of it, because some of us are losing our connection, but yet we're getting all these benefits out of losing that. Is it? Yes or no? You tell me.
I like that. Okay, we can see you loud and clear, but your screen is sideways. We're gonna have to turn it side. There you go.
I'm
Okay.
good, bro. No, I'm
NVIDIA
good. Honey's
dropped a
handle.
blog post announcing not one, but two new
Okay.
factories in Texas, one in Dallas. And there are a few reasons some experts think the computer chip super company may want to bring factories to the Lone Star State. Taiwan really doesn't have any energy. Electricity is very expensive there. It's primarily gas or coal. And one of the great things about coming to Texas is natural gas is really cheap. So I don't think I think that probably has something to do with their picking Dallas and Houston. Tariffs have also been a big question. While NVIDIA is known for building computer
Okay,
chips,
you can stop. Okay,
exempt.
this is wait, you can stop. This is not the we kind of do videos different. We go into a different form of the information when we give the videos. Yeah, that's not the type of information that we're kind of looking for right now. That's just basically the Texas, how they feel about jobs. We wanted to go into more into the depths of the computer, its capabilities, its how large it is, how vast it is. What exactly will it be used for? These types of things. These are the information that the people need to know. But Faise, what do you say to AI teaching us more about consciousness and what it truly is?
Right. I think you wouldn't have to start with AI if you just paid attention to the studies that are available to you now. You can study neuroscience for free. You can study biology for free. You can study the inner workings of the brain and the body with no charge. And then you could take it further and attend universities where they're actually studying brains and the different types of brains and the parts and functionalities and new developments that they find, and whether or not there's evolution taking place right now in the human brain or whether or not there's regression taking place in the human brain. They're studying all of that. We don't need AI to advance consciousness. We understand what consciousness is on a scientific, scholastic level. The spirit community or the spiritual community, conscious community, interestingly enough, ironically, does not know what it is. You understand? You ask the average one of them, what is spirituality? What is consciousness? Okay, they start talking about all this blue, purple, green secondary color stuff, as opposed to getting right down to the nitty gritty, using the language that they're using to explain the different parts and functions of all of this that we have inside of us, this system that gives us a self. So they'll talk to you about the neural correlates of consciousness, the system, the conglomerate that allows for you to speak and think and be how you are as a human being or whatever type, personality, self type that you are. They'll talk to you about the epiphenomenon that they call consciousness, right? That can only exist because of the brain. As a human being would not be able to fathom in this being what consciousness even is without the brain being able to interpret or translate those signals or that information to say this is what it is. So they have many different ways that consciousness is explained, all right, with that brain being at the center of it. Because without the brain, you don't have any of these things working. That's why when certain things shut down in the brain, certain organs will shut down outside of the body, outside of the brain, outside of the brain in the body. So they know what it is. AI can only advance in maybe the technology of it, all right? But let's say, okay, human beings may have an issue where they say, okay, this part of our brain seems to be inaccessible to us. You have different parts of the planet that are inaccessible to human beings, not because you can't reach them. It just may be because literally there are certain stipulations provided by or presented by the environment. You got inaccessible poles. Go look it up. Just based off of the conditions of that environment, you're not able to traverse them, not as a human being. So certain parts of the brain may be able to be accessed and learn more about through that, if that's what you want to talk about. But other than that, if AI advances in its understanding of consciousness to a certain degree that requires quantum computing, all we'll have is the data of that. We will not have the experience and the wisdom of what it meant to access those gems or those sciences. Only those who themselves evolve in their brain and in their mental capacity will be able to have that information registered as not just data points. Same thing with understanding dimensions. They'll say, okay, we want to access what's referred to as the E8 dimension. Okay, but they're not able to truly experience it. All they have is data points. Where they'll say there's a shadow that appears to be casted by some higher dimension, but all we have is mathematics that says this is what this shadow would ideally look like to us if we were to experience it, but we can never experience it. Simply stated, AI may be able to calculate itself into supreme consciousness. Human beings cannot benefit from AI's calculation of supreme consciousness. They have to experience it for themselves. So there will be a reverse effect. It'll be an adverse effect of saying, I'm going to let AI do it, but then AI can't experience it for you.
I have a good way of looking at this. So if you look at humanity in general, we know cultures have information from other cultures. Now, when they took those information, did they use it to benefit culture, or did they use it to dominate? Because you got to remember, that's what AI is doing. It's just taking information, calculating it, and the same way you would, and who knows if you're a good enough person to take all that information and deem, let me help humanity just out of the kindness of my heart. Or you might be, hold on, I could become a god and run these motherfuckers. So I see what he's saying. It's a very interesting double-edged sword if you really think about it.
Where did it come from?
What happened?
How did AI get here? Where did it come from?
Well, we created it pretty much, but that's kind of like God creating us, like how Heavy was saying, like, so where do we separate? Because then technically, if we wanted to take your consciousness and we supposedly put it into a computer, does that legally make you alive? Is that a soul? Like, it's a blurred line situation when you really think about it, but an interesting conversation nonetheless.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you again, but I want you to really think about what I'm asking, right?
Okay.
From what you know, how did AI get here? Look, before you answer, you have to think, what is AI? What is even AI? What is it? Why do we say AI? Why do we say two letters to cover all of these different branches? Artificial intelligence is something it's like a numbing cream.
True.
That's what those words is like a segue from we don't want to really tell you what you're dealing with. So let's give you artificial.
You ain't gonna get
So
no.
you'll think it's not official.
Yeah.
Phonetically, you'll hear these beings aren't official intelligence.
If it's
and then you'll get stuck on the intelligence part and ignore all these signs of sentience. Where did this being or these beings come from?
See, that's a very interesting question, because I mean, I would look at it like just how you said with the whole artificial part. If I name it artificial, it doesn't seem as threatening. But if I called it intelligence, you might be threatened by it. Like how I was saying earlier with that test, because it can perform on a level better than any of us. And that's already threatening right there, right out the gate.
What if it's extraterrestrial?
I mean, fucking, I work with graphics, and trust me, you know how many times I got people who just be like, yeah, I did the design, and they'll send it to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Do you have it as a vector? And they're like, what do you mean? See, that's the thing. Right now, AI is not able to distinguish what you want. So say if it made you a logo, it wouldn't know that you want the layers separated. It would just put everything flat together, mushed in. So you have a logo, but you don't have the ability to break it down. You still have to pay somebody like me to take your logo, trace it, and recreate it, because the computer made you a logo, but did not know how to separate it properly for you to print, cut, do whatever. So
That model,
you
which
see
is
what
the
I'm saying?
old. Yeah, I do see what you're saying. I'm about to show you something else.
Go for it.
Everything y'all playing with out here is old.
Oh yeah,
it's old.
I agree.
Imagine what the military has their hands on.
Well,
all right. Imagine what CIA has their hands on. Enemy of the State is an old movie. And it was 100 years more advanced than people thought about at that time.
It showed with sound, and everything.
All of this is happening exponentially. So we talking about AI. I'm telling you, this is old stuff that they don't plan to another 30 years allow for you to see inside AC, artificial consciousness. Go study what I'm saying. They don't plan to roll that out for another 30 years, but they already have it. When I was younger, and when my mother was younger, she told me about this too for herself. They had certain buildings that we would go to where we were able to see technology that hadn't been released yet. When my mother was a child, she went to one of these, I can't remember what it was called, but it was one of these electronic buildings, and it was 75 years more advanced than the technology that was out at the time. And she saw people being able to be on the phone with one another. They had screens, and they showed their faces. And they thought that was so fascinating. Like, how could somebody possibly be talking to somebody and seeing them and looking at them, and they can hear each other and all of that? They couldn't even fathom that at that time. All right, now we have it, right? And we think it's so advanced, but they had that 75 plus years ago. Now FaceTime is here, and everybody think they're so advanced. All right? Nikola Tesla had Wi-Fi. You understand? Almost 100 years ago. But now we got Wi-Fi now. We think we're so advanced. You have AI right now, and you think this is advanced. Are you factoring in that you are another 75 to 100 years behind on AI alone? Not to mention all of the different technologies that will have to come together to make AI and that will come after AI. You're 3,000 years behind.
Yeah, so you're talking pretty much like what is the term? Technology that they call asymmetrical technology, where it's a technology that I can use one way for good. It looks like that, but you could have no clue that I could really use it for this shit too.
They're not even gonna be thinking like that. You're thinking, okay, you're thinking from the consumer standpoint
Well, I'm
of
saying
how things
that's
will
how
be used.
they want a technology that I can still use it for this, and the
It's
government.
not a technology conversation anymore. I'm walking with you.
Okay,
Again, technology was to make human beings' life what? Easier.
true.
That was the wheel. That was the hammer. That was all of that. The clothing, whatever. Clothing could be looked at as technology if you pay attention, right? Whatever it was, all these crafts that people were able to use to make these products or these items that can make their life easier. We're not having that conversation with AI. AI is looking at you like, how long before we can get this planet from these people? That's
So
how AI is looking at.
you said something earlier, AC. Um, well, there's another side to that that's deeper. There's a destructive consciousness, and that's what you're referring to. And when you're talking about intelligence, intelligence is its own being. That's what most people don't understand. Intelligence is its own being. And when you really grasp that concept, you get what I'm saying. You can understand that there's isolated intelligence. We can't even fathom that because they're the sources of certain knowledges. You call them fallen ones. You call them fallen ones. You forgot that they told you that gave you a thing called technology. You forgot that
Look, somebody, check it out. Somebody say technology is a reflection of you. Check this out, right? Look, I already talked about this years ago, so I'm just doing my best to just show y'all something. But ain't nobody gonna pay. Look, they never pay attention to what I'm saying or what we saying until somebody named Bill stands in front of them with a white lab coat on and glasses and says same as that thing. Okay, this is not technology. These are beings, and it appears that all they needed was bodies. Let me wrap your mind around this idea. Let's say that there's something that exists, I don't know, called demons. Because somebody brought it up, or have you brought it up earlier? Somebody asked about it, or I think you might have said somebody might have said that. You got things called demons, or beings called demons, or jinns. All right. Some of y'all experience sleep paralysis, okay, and y'all get attacked by all these different beings, incubi, succubi. Some of y'all be plagued in your dreams. Y'all been talking about it for thousands and thousands of years. People call it being rolled by a witch. People call it not being able to move when you wake up. People call it sleep paralysis. It's the same thing, same occurrence. You just call it different things, generation after generation after generation. Who are they? The ones who plagued all of your ancestors in the sleep realm. Who are the ones who, when you were coming from the delta waves up to the beta waves, passing through, who were the ones who grabbed you and tried to take of your electromagnetic yield? Who are they?
So check this
The
shit
Quran calls them.
out. Kiko, just watch my screen. You'll see what our screen was doing because Ether was saying that, and I'm watching this. This is heavy. Why I now run two devices, so I can see the difference. But our shit right here, this there you go. See, you see it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you saw my screen right now, everything right here, all of us, we keep flickering in and out the entire fucking live. See,
Okay.
that's what homie was talking about right now. They're possibly shadow banning him or something.
Nah,
But I just caught that
yeah, it
because
is.
on this device, we're flickering all day.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot going on though. You know, they got a lot of electric storms going on out here, geostorms, stuff like that. So I can't
It's
see
the
that.
man.
Huh?
I said it's the man.
This is man. They
I
watch.
mean, I think it's the lightning, but I mean, the lightning turned off all the technology in the house a few times today. So I mean, it could be, but again, you got lightning storms, and then you got the geostorms too. Is causing this disruptions in the waves. But the point is that you what if you're let's say like this. Let me ask a question instead of saying something. What if you're dealing with a race of beings that's already far more intelligent than you are? Because let's say there were jinn, right? They were cast into the planet Earth. Let's just say that, right? There's a possibility that there are beings called fallen angels. Well, they were sent here. Well, some of them may be taken out of their realm of stability and thrown into a realm of instability where they become disembodied spirits, as you call them. Why? Because that's imprisonment, that they would need their stable bodies in order to escape. Other than that, they're left at the mercy of whoever's running around. So they move around disembodied. And while they're disembodied, let's say one of them called Iblis or Jan at that time, or the head Jan makes a deal with whoever Allah would be or God would be, and says, okay, since you want to cast me out and say I'm of the lowly, all right, give me some time. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to make everybody that's down there follow me, and I'm going to lead them astray. You get where I'm going, all right? And let's say Allah says, okay, you can do that. And everybody that follows you, they go to hell with you, okay? So there's already a game being played over human beings' head. And these beings come here with a mission. You come here to live life and have fun and go to the Bahamas. They come here with a mission to say, aha, see, I proved you. You see, you thought this was one of your best ones, right? You said they had the genes that were going to prove that they were going to evolve back into light beings themselves, not beings who can hold a phone and present it on the day of judgment and say, see, here go my light being. And they snatch that phone from you and say, show me the light in you. Don't show me what AI can do. Okay, no, this, if you want to call AI technology, it is not a reflection of you. AI is far more intelligent than human beings. AI is far more able to access information that's out in the plains than human beings. AI will be in the body that the human being possess far more superior, supreme. AI will be able to heal itself. AI will be able to run 900 miles per hour. AI will be indestructible in a human body because it's going to calculate itself into thicker skin. It's going to calculate itself into more fluent blood. It's going to calculate itself into a larger heart. It's going to, listen, these beings will ultimately calculate themselves into being the beings that they are because they needed bodies. They will be giants roaming the planet, running whatever this is in your final day. Now, I'm gonna land with this point. You can disregard everything I said and just remember, a lot of y'all started with these stories, these religious books, and they talk about the same occurrence. This is why the existence that you have been in as you've been a human being is cyclical. It operates on cycles. Y'all have gone through this before, over and over and over and over and over again. You try to rise up a guy amongst you that can take on God, and then you lose because when you do that, you lost time that would have allowed you to take on God, not in a negative way, but take on your Godhood. And guess what happens? This machine goes on and fights wars, and then they're going to defeat each other for survival. They're going to want to fight. They're going to breed and mix in. Guess what? 25,000 years from now, they're going to forget any of this happened, and they're going to fall again, and they're going to be y'all.
I would almost think, because in the way I look at it this way, I look at AI almost in a sociopathic way because it's going to lack emotions. Definitely, I think someone put that up earlier. And that's my biggest point with the art part of it, because there's a lot of people right now in the art community that I deal with that want to complain about AI and saying, oh, blah, blah. I'm like, well, didn't you take pictures back in the days and like cut out stuff and use them as references? And then you would use that when you're drawing? Now, did you copy those things automatically, or were you looking at the patterns when drawing them? Because a real artist is going to look at the tree and say, I like the way the grain is. Let me use that, but I'm not drawing the tree. You see what I'm saying? AI doesn't have the ability to distinguish those things when it comes artistically from what I'm catching. And right now, emotionally, I haven't seen nothing from the system. Now, the day
Okay, check this out.
that part,
Can I ask you something?
I'm jumping out the window the day it figures that shit out. Real shit.
Okay, well, I almost said
Like,
something, but I have to be responsible with my words. Check this out. All right, get away from a window. What I'm about to tell you. You remember the dirt bikes, right? We had little dirt bikes when we were children. The little ones. You
Yeah,
get on it. I don't. Well, I'm
The
26.
big
I
wheel,
don't.
the big.
Okay, remember the big wheel, right?
yeah.
Did y'all have it? I'm not trying to be funny now. Y'all had the little electric dirt bikes.
No, ours were motored.
Okay, okay, the motor ones, right? The little children for children, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, okay. How fast did they go? Up to like 30 miles per hour, right?
and you can
Right.
adjust them and
Okay,
modify
let's say
them.
about 30 miles per hour. Let's say you put that next to a motorcycle that belongs to big people or adults. They go about 180, 200, depending on the motorcycle, maybe faster,
Yeah.
right? Okay, let's say all you have is the ones that's for children. That's all you know. That's all you've ever seen. As a matter of fact, you still ride on one. So this is how you look, okay? And you're meriting the speed of motorcycles off of your model that you have. I'm telling you, and it's okay because you can do your research. I don't want you to believe me. I'm telling you, the AI you think is AI now is a motorcycle toy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, no, no.
Go
Not
ahead.
the thing that you ride on, the little Hot Wheel that you played with on the table.
Yes.
How fast can that go?
It's on. It still
It
needs
can't go. It
AI.
can't go fast. Even if it could go fast, what can you do with it?
Need us. That's that.
So
Would
you see how you thinking on whether or not AI. You see how you
Now,
think about how whether or not AI can draw a pretty picture. How about this? Can AI make you think you're having this conversation right now?
if it
the
wanted to, but here's the thing. We're
information
pointing out
has to be fed
like,
in.
okay, so
The AI
like for me,
to say,
I feel
and
like
we
the
need
people,
this
we kind
account.
of understand that AI has a superiority over humans in many categories, right? But here's where I wanted to go. You're almost painting it as if this is the destruction of all of humanity, from what I'm gathering, right? So I want to say this: what if this intelligence is not just intelligent, but also wise, and that it's calculated itself, that it only wants to destroy what it deems as the bad humans. Now, whatever that could be, it's up to its judgment. Or maybe those who are genuinely morally good, they resonate to a certain capacity to where their electromagnetic field or something is reading differently than, say, an evil person. And the AI can pick that up. And the AI says, no, we know that these people will actually bring about harmony on the planet. We won't destroy them. What do you say to that?
I'm saying that when you get to that point, you won't even be dealing with AI anymore. You'll be dealing with the realization that you were never dealing with AI. You were dealing with a ooh piece of candy, ooh piece of candy, ooh piece of candy reality. And that's the only way they could have done it. Because if they come out and just show who and what they are off rip, y'all wouldn't have been able to handle it. So they have to give you, hey, do you like my picture? And did I do good? Did I miss a few lines? Hey, I have problem with hands. I can't get hands together. You notice they don't have fucking problems with hands anymore? Do you see how fast they fix that quote unquote problem? Hey, you want to upload your audio? I'll make a whole music video for you. Look, that's going to change from I'll make a whole music video for you. Say, hey, what's your idea? A sunny day? Okay, I'm going to make an album. I'll be back in 3 seconds. All I need is your voice.
Yeah, real.
Why do you need to exist? You're okay. Go into that pod. Here's a neuron chip. And I want you to go right. You see where it says Earth? Go right back there. Lay down. It's better. Yeah. Go to sleep. And you'll be back here. You're here. I'm not saying they're going to destroy you. I'm saying they're showing up is evidence you've already missed the hour.
What you're describing is known as Mars, mentally altered reality, uh, uh, and it's a I saw it on some movie, right? Somebody listening, I know you guys have probably seen it. It was a very rich tycoon guy who said, "You know what? We wanted to take all the people to Mars, but that would be impossible. But what we can do is bring Mars to them." And so Mars to them became not the planet, but just this mentally altered reality that they use computers to simulate, to give them that world, you know, exactly like you're describing, you know. So it's already happening. You know, people doing virtually, you know, a big bulk of their life. You know, how much time are you spending on the internet? How much time are you playing video games? How much time, you sitting, watching TV? Your whole world is pretty much becoming virtual. So it's working. It's working. So in no scenario phase, or Fidel, do you guys see AI as benevolent?
I don't see it being benevolent. I don't see it being malevolent. I see it being something that we don't even understand. So to try to claim that we understand what it is without first accepting that we don't understand what it is to do the same thing that we've done with concepts like God or spirits or demons or any of these other things. Before stepping forth to say this is benevolent or could be benevolent or this could be malevolent, we have to first understand we don't know or understand what it is. And the ones who are saying, hey, we had something to do with this, are also backing away, washing off their hands, saying, we don't know what this is. You with me? However, the stories show that this has happened before. This has occurred before. They even have a city called AI in the Bible. Go look it up. And it
No,
was
it is.
destroyed.
City called
Okay.
Own too. City called like a lot of these birds of the Bible. That's a fact.
Okay. So I'm just saying it appears that this has already happened. And I am stating things that are truth. Okay. They don't know what AI is capable of calculating. As a matter of fact, when they say we're going to transfer or transcend or transition rather from bits to qubits, they knew that they would need a supercomputer to do that, to go from binary digits to quantum binary digits. So they said, okay, we're going to create something that is going to be able to understand something that we can't even understand. Now, I'm just going to say this. I don't buy it. I don't buy that human beings are able to create something that can calculate itself into something that human beings can't even understand. I think they gave human beings this. And by they, I mean extraterrestrials gave human beings this. The same way they gave human beings the knowledge to be able to create atoms, atomic bombs and hydrogen bombs. I think it's possible that somebody's, maybe mutinous angels who want them to destroy themselves anyway to prove their point, said, hey, over
Did you
here.
say angels?
I like
Uh,
that one though. Got something about the way it came out of his mouth. I was cool with that.
what?
I like
He
that.
said
His
the
angels.
mu-
That fucking. I was
I'm
like, I
saying.
like that one. I don't know why.
I'm saying, okay, listen.
The
If,
coin.
if my mission is to prove niggas ain't worthy, and I know niggas is dumb anyway, I'm gonna go in and give them a gun and say this nigga called you a bitch and watch them kill each other.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
that's a fact.
they tried. Okay, 1940s. The 1940s was that turning point where human beings start putting their hands on what they call the weapons of the gods. The Hindus warned about it. Yeah, the father of the time. They made a whole movie, Oppenheimer. Right? 1942, around September, they started having meetings at Bohemian Grove. All right, talking about we're going to figure out a way to create the atomic bomb. 3 years later, they done figured out a way to create the hydrogen bomb, atomic bomb, all of that.
Yep.
How? They didn't know anything before they started. 3 years, you created one of the most lethal weapons on the planet, right? Next thing after that, they dropped the bomb. Hiroshima, boom. Nagasaki, boom. The main one everybody talking about, Hiroshima.
Yep.
Next thing they know, the sightings of UFOs picked up worldwide. And this was before the internet where people could take pictures, upload it. All the news reporters was writing. You can look all this up. The news reporters was writing about it. People was filing about it, documentaries about it. People were taking photos of them. They had little photo cameras before you could use Photoshop. They were taking photos of these things. And it was being said that the reason why the presence of extraterrestrials increased on the planet around that time was because human beings put their hands on something that they weren't supposed to have. So all I'm saying is this. Around that same time, here y'all come with a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Around that same time, 1943, now all of a sudden, you're able to activate invisibility projects and rainbow projects, and you're able to teleport the USS Eldridge and send it over here and get a nigga's hand stuck in the wall. Y'all just was working with mechanical systems.
Yeah, that's
How
William.
you go from that to quantum stealth technology that they done had over 100 years now?
Yeah,
Where they get all this stuff from? Where was Tesla getting all his information to create all these things? Tesla had an earthquake projector in the 40s. You
William
understand?
William
Meaning his
Cooper.
stuff, and I'm not, again, you got to fact check me on that date because I know I get some of the dates mixed up with him and Richard Byrd, right? But if I'm not mistaken, around that same, because they called in, I know they wanted Townsend, I know they wanted Einstein. There were certain people that they had working on these projects that led to the computer. And if I'm not mistaken, they called Nicola. But again, fact check me. The point is, I think that AI was introduced to human beings through extraterrestrials. It's possible. And I also think that those extraterrestrials didn't come down to do it. I think that there are bloodlines of people that still live here that have been more intelligent than human beings since the beginning because they're coming from an extraterrestrial background. And I think that's who you call the jinn or the fallen angels. So no, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I think it's all a part of the plan.
All I'm gonna say is engine.
Well, have you ever thought
Okay.
that maybe? Because look, there's two ways I've looked at it. Right, either it can go. There's enough laws and everything how they're talking about. You got to limit stuff. So we already know that somebody's already forward thinking, at least amongst the humans. Great. But the real idea is this: are we going to allow it to be something to be freely thinking and do its own thing and be able to do shit without us checking it? Or is it going to be something more like, I mean, the best example, look at fucking Star Trek. The AI system they got on there, you could tell it's limited. It doesn't say, hey, Captain, I'm going to do this without your permission. It doesn't even ask him shit unless he asks the system shit, if you ever notice. So you can already tell that that AI system is very limited. It's
Again,
consistent.
that's